So now room is locked. Namaste everyone. Welcome to me live session, the first Facebook live session of the series. And today is a new year, and we are starting a 9-day series where we would be bringing many people, practitioners, experts, and enthusiasts on the platform, and we'll have a conversation. Sometimes we'll have an activities too, and share with you what does this me is all about, what is this myself earth, how we can live more sustainably, and how we can create a community for sustainable living. So this is our small attempt to Facebook Live and Instagram Live. So please stay tuned to know more about when we are coming on Facebook, when we are coming on Instagram, and also in between we have exciting challenges to give you. And by doing those challenges, we hope you can reward yourself. So this is a reward for me. So reward for me, from me, and everything just for the me. So today we have with us Shailendra ji, who is a naturalist, vegan, and minimalist. Like you can keep on going, adding all these adjectives behind his name. And then we have Selvena, who is from Italy, and she is a community weaver. She is a medicine teacher, and again you can keep on adding all the adjectives. And interestingly, is both of them are part of the larger me, which the me, the capital M and E stands for. And of course, we have a Preeti with us, who is a emotional well-being educator and a learner. And again, you can keep on adding certain adjectives as per the roles which she does. So to start today's sessions, I want to start with a small story how what happened one day when me and Shailendra Bhaiya were together in Anhad. So I live in a farm called Anhad near Hyderabad, and we were eating something. I think it was a breakfast time, and Shailendra Bhaiya came, and he had this in his hand. I know many of you can recognize easily. And what he did, and I know many of you might not like this also. So what he did is like he just opened it and took it out, and he just took it and just ate it like this, and we were like, what is he doing? What is he trying? Because we know what is the taste of the bitter gourd. It's bitter in the taste. But then he allowed us to taste it a little bit, and actually bitter gourd was not bitter, it was sweet. And that created a curiosity in my mind. And almost after 2 years of this journey from that incident, now I have an interesting story to tell, but I will not tell right now. What happened afterward? What I found recently with the beta god. So I would like to ask first Shailendra Bhaiya that how you discovered that beta god tastes sweet, and your voice is not audible.
You are muted,
You are
Shailendra.
muted, Shailendra Bhaiya. You need to unmute. No.
Is it audible now?
Yes. Yes. Fine.
I think he left the room accidentally. Maybe
Yeah. Yeah. Preeti, can you check, is it showing on our page or not?
Okay.
Okay, so by the time Shailendra Bhaiya comes in, how does this sound, the story sounded to both of you? You can share a little bit by the time he returns, I hope.
Well, I unmuted myself so you can hear the birds in the background. I'm in my garden,
Yeah.
so you have this sound from Italy.
Have you actually tried eating bitter gourd, Silvana? Is it like available
Sorry,
in Italy? Did you try having bitter gourd anytime when you were in India, or is it like available in Italy?
I never saw it. I've never seen it,
Ah.
so I'm very curious. I'll have to come back to India to have one, and I'm very curious about the story. I want to hear the second part.
Wow.
So Shailendra Bhaiya is back with us. And yes, Bhaiya, if you can. Again, not able to hear you. No, voice is not audible.
Hello, can you hear
Yeah,
me now?
now. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So what happened was when I was transitioning into natural food habits, so I observe monkeys a lot. So monkeys were snatching off the bitter gourds from our terrace garden. Then I was wondering how come they are comfortable eating bitter gourd raw. Then I found they were only taking the ripe ones. The raw ones, they were not touching it. Then I was observing the ripe ones. Um the green ones normally we cook it. So the ripe ones I opened up and I saw that red color coating on top of it. Normally I use technology to know if I'm not confident. Then I opened up internet and I was searching about the property of that red color thing in the bitter gourd. They say it has lycopene and many other things. Some people said it's edible, some people said it's not edible. Then I thought, okay, let me give a try. I just ate it. It was sweet. That's it. I started eating it.
That's interesting. And
Hello?
so my next question is, how you came into this healthy lifestyles and exploration?
I got a chance to join my Guruji in 2005. I did my engineering, computer science graduation. Then I was working in IT for 5 years. When I was doing my engineering, I had thought, like the thought was there since childhood, but it got matured while I was doing my engineering to serve for the cause. Then once I completed, I approached my guru and I reciprocated my thoughts and for service and all, but he didn't accept it. So it took time for me. So I was working in between. Then one fine day, I got a chance to join the ashram. Once I joined the ashram, I was because my interest was health. I used to teach yoga, do yoga. I used to teach meditation and do healing as well. So I was
Okay.
placed in the health section. Once I joined the health section, I was taking care. I got trained under him, and I was taking care of the health wing. Then I learned many things. Like since my childhood, I used to hear his discourses about various aspects on life, not just health. So my Guruji also focus on health, because if we are healthy, then only we can be in harmony with the nature. We can learn many things. We can express our capabilities. We can share with others, whatever. So health is very much important. So to be healthy, so we have to eat right. Like whatever right inputs we put, then only we can be healthy. Then I started digging deeper. So in few discourses, he used to say, grains are not our food; they are birds' food. Then what is our food then? Then I met some Swamijis who were fruitarians. I met some Swamijis who were breatharians. Then he also used to talk about traditional cooking methods. Uh, Everything I used to catch from different speeches of him. So all together, I like gathered every information which was storing in my mind, and then I started working on each and everything. Then slowly I started changing my cooking methods. Then slowly started practicing being on fruits and all. So now for since 1 year I'm on fruit diet. 90% I am on raw diet. So
Okay.
maybe some steamed vegetables or 1-2% some grains here and there to taste it, because I also teach cooking methods. So that's how the journey started, and it's continuing. It's very nice. Energies are abundant. I keep talking in many sessions. So I'm only a medium here, because I know there is one more energy which is flowing through me. And whenever I speak, I'm a listener, because the speech will come from else. So that is my experience.
Okay. Wonderful. So what motivates you to continue this?
Pardon?
What motivates you to walk on this
Yeah,
path?
so I have dedicated my life for the cause. I'm a medium for the nature. So I'm just going with the nature's flow. Whatever nature intend me to do, I am just doing it. So for now, it is very important for everyone to turn towards the harmony, natural harmony. We have to be healthy first. So if we have to think about me, then we have to think about our health as well. So if we can think about health, then the whole world will be healthy and in harmony.
Right, right. Anything you would like to share, Preeti or Sylviana, on
Maybe we
this?
could start with Siliana and her journey,
Yes.
and her also journey to how she is connected to a lot of people in India and also connected to people in a lot of different other countries. So, yeah, Siliana, please share a little bit about yourself, your journey, and your connection with nature.
Well, I'm very much connected to India because I've been a few times, and especially I've met a lot of friends at the learning societies and conference. I was there in Rajasthan once and then in Odisha. And in both cases, I was there because I wanted to open a conversation with men about the cycle of women. So I'm a teacher of movement medicine, which is a modality of mindfulness in movement. It's like a form of conscious dance. And I'm also a cycle mentor. So I've been working for a long time with the archetype of the red thread, inviting women to dance around the connection with the wisdom that comes from the connection to the body and to the cycle. And I've been doing it in Italy and in many other countries. And then I was in India a couple of times, well, more than twice, to develop some projects on this topic. And then there was a moment when I realized that it was important to involve men in the conversation. So that's when I met Preeti. I think it was in Odisha a couple of years ago. So I was sharing the map of menstruality, which is about the wisdom and the information that we receive from the body. Basically, the way I invite women to look at it is to be aware that we have an inner coach inside us that gives us information every single month. So I think it is very important for women to remember this knowledge and this wisdom, but it's also very important for men to be aware of it, because of course it gives a lot of different perspective in the relationship with the women in your life. Can be your wife, can be your daughter, can be your friends, your colleagues, whatever. But I think in particular, Preeti invited me here because she knows that I'm really connected to nature. And she was inviting me to hold a session for women and men about a connection with nature. So that's what I will be offering. And my idea is to work on the connection with the forest and the roots. So I will be inviting people to connect specifically with one song. We will be using one specific song, and we will be listening to the same song from different perspectives. And then I will invite people to sing the same song,
Wow.
which to me, it represents the vision of the future, because it's all about coming back, inviting each other to lead each other towards a future where love is really the connector, and where we can be together around the fire to be human again. Because my feeling at the moment is that we are losing maps to get orientation in our humanity. So I really think that it's very, very important what you are organizing, Preeti, and I mean, the
Vibe
kind of
out.
initiative that you are supporting is very much about reminding people that we're humans and how we can support each other to find orientation in this very complex time, complex and at the same time full of opportunities. So it's really up to us, basically. So I'm very, very happy to have been invited by you, and I'm looking forward to find out more.
So I would continue the thread, and then I will view all three of you together and make a chain of me larger. So just to add, few months back, me and Preeti were learning Kathak, and Preeti brought this idea about the red thread, archetype red thread, and the menstrual cycle, and she wonderfully weaved it together and choreographed a small dance piece along with few friends. So I would like to ask Preeti, because I know that was one of her beautiful journey in last few months during lockdown. So if you can share a little bit about that, about your experience, your connecting with the nature, with the dance, and particularly the topic which Silviana brought in. And then I would come back to connecting dots and weaving the threads.
Sure. So I think I met Sylviana almost 2 years back, and that was the first time I got to know about how menstrual cycle is so much in sync with nature. When either we take the archetype of moon or seasons, our bodies are aligned with nature, and that was very new and fascinating for me. And I think when I dig deeper, when I like read more around that, and also saw in my own body like what is happening when I am in the menstrual phase or when I'm in the ovulation phase, I started to see a shift in me. And and then gradually I started to sync with the nature's moon cycle. So when it's a dark moon, so I'm bleeding, and on a full moon I'm ovulating. So all of this was very fascinating for me. And in the lockdown, because all of us were stuck, so I just accidentally started this habit of hugging trees because I could not practically hug people. So that's how the connection with the trees. And I think I started to realize that it is so alive. Like when I used to put my ear on the tree and hear the sounds that it has. Sometimes just play around with the different shapes of the leaves. Like everything about nature started to fascinate me like anything. And somebody would call me even mad. I used to sometimes talk to moon because I was away from home and I used to feel sometimes very lonely away. So I just started like it helped me to form a deeper connection with the mother earth and its elements. Then I now I feel that it's so much part of me. Like some days, I think
Wow.
few months back,
I
somebody
I
asked.
wish right now all three of you would have been here. So from like the point we started, I said it was about to rain. It has started raining, and now the smell of that
Ah,
earthenness is so much alive. I wish like we had a technology. I don't wish that we have a technology actually, because technology would have killed that
yeah.
fragrance also. So that was a wonderful sharing, and that reminded me to ask Shailendra because I remember once you taught us one technique to connect with the tree, and you had a very particular process also in that. In the ashram where you lived, there are big, very huge trees, and like you can go and just heal yourself sitting under it. So can you share a little bit more about this energy connecting with the tree and our relation with the nature, the life of birth and the death, little bit more.
So basically, if you see, there is always a connection between the earth and the sky. There is a communication between the earth and the sky. So any communication is a wave. So when two waves intercept each other, it forms a straight beam of life according to the superimposition theorem in science. So we all
Okay.
are in that cloud of energy. So trees are always connected to that energy. Trees just not give us shade or fruits or bark or wood or clothes. They are also connected to that energy cloud and always transforming that, transmitting that energy throughout the vicinity. So, and trees connect with each other. Like there is a mycelium fungi underneath the soil. So every tree cannot take all the nutrients from the nature. So each and every tree is connected to specific energy frequencies where they absorb and they share among each other. That's how there is a harmony in the nature. But we have disrupted and disconnected that harmony. That is different. But one, if we have to connect to that, we have to just open up our heart. That is the language to connect to the tree. So yeah, according to the traditional practices, we do puja, we recite some shlokas or mantras, we do put haldi or kumkum. This is all just to connect, establish a connection. But main communication is with the heart. We have to just open up our heart to the tree. Then the energies which are flowing between the earth and the sky, where tree is a medium, when we connect to that tree energy, we can connect to that cosmic energy directly. So otherwise, if there, imagine if there are no trees, so it will be difficult for us because our mind is very wavery. So we have to stabilize our mind to connect to that cosmic energy cloud. But where trees sustain wind, cold, heat, rain, everything, they constantly connect to that cosmic energy. And when we can connect to the tree, then it will be easy for us to connect to that cosmic energy. So it will also ground us. Like it's not like cosmic energy is always safe. Energy is always dynamic. Energy cannot stay at one place. So always energy has to move like a dynamism. Suppose if we are not grounded, again grounding energy will be happen only because of trees. Suppose if we are not grounded, then we can't take that cosmic energy. So grounding is very important again. So the energy comes through us and flows back to the earth. Again from the earth it will flow back to the sky. So in that energy field we are also connected. So trees are the interface where we can easily connect and we can be grounded as well, so that we need not worry about the excess flow which are coming.
Sorry, that's a lovely and interesting knowledge, and not just a knowledge, just to open your heart and experience this really. Like, so I request all the viewers here or who are going to watch this video later on, please try out this simple small experiment. Take it that as a scientific experiment and see what happens. Just open your heart,
So
try to.
there is one experiment. You can
Yeah.
just keep two plants, flowering plants in front, like in two corners. For one plant, put water and manure for both the plants. But for one plant, just open your heart and just talk to that flowering plant daily. For the other plant, just ignore it. Just put water and manure. Don't put your love or don't connect to it. So the flowering, though it is the same flowering plant, the plant which you are connected will blossom very vibrantly. But the other plant, it may flower, but it will not be very vibrant. At the same time, suddenly, if you stop connecting to that plant which you were regularly contacting, just shift that focus on the other plant. Then you will see the flower will be blossom again. So the other plant will be shrink, like it will wither. So
Oh,
this I have
this is
experimented practically,
hmm,
and yeah, everyone can experiment.
yeah. So this is whole
And
idea. Yeah.
one more interesting experience I had. Once my guru asked me to get some herb. I was new to the ashram, so we went to some satsang, some discourse. So I do recognize that herb if it is there in front of me. Out of many herbs, it is difficult for me because it was new for me. But there was no other way because like we were in Karnataka, so local people were not understanding the name in our language. So my guru sent me along with someone, and I was just walking, looking here and there. There was a river side. There was no wind at that time, but suddenly at one place my legs became heavy. There was a wind, like though there was no wind, one plant was shaking. So I was just staring at that plant. Around there was no wind and no plant or leaf were moving. Only this plant was moving. Then, like it was attracting me, pulling me. Then I went nearby and I could recognize it was the same herb which I was looking for. So then I had that
Amazing.
confidence now. Like trees will talk,
Yes.
trees will communicate.
Yes.
So that was my
That's
interesting experience.
Thank you sharing your experience. And now it's going to become many my experiences and my experiments and form a larger me. So in each traditions, whether India, Europe, America, every traditions, ancient traditions had this connection with the nature. So I would like to ask Silviana whether in your country, around your region, how do you connect, and are there any stories or your personal experience with the nature?
Well, I can tell you my own experience. First of all, my
Yeah,
name,
sure.
Silvana means over the
Silvana.
forest, of the wood. So
Oh,
I'm
wow.
really connected to nature. And
Hmm.
actually, I have to admit that with the lockdown, in Italy, we had a very strong lockdown, and we were in and out since March last year.
Hmm.
And I've always been traveling very much. And during lockdown, I was forced to be at home. So it really forced me to be walking in nature. And I've spent basically every day, I've been walking in the countryside every day. And this has really allowed me really to observe what is happening, and just walking by the same plants, the same trees, the same bushes, and just seeing how the seasons are changing, how much the energy is changing, from one week to the next, from one day to the next, from the morning to the afternoon. So for me, really, nature has been a very, very, very powerful companion in this month, and it has been my teacher. So I'm really grateful for the support I've received. And this is something that I use very much in my sessions. I really
Hmm.
invite people to connect to the nature inside and outside. And I was really resonating with what you were saying about, the mycelium, the connection to the roots, the nourishment that we received by being aware of this connection, from earth to sky. In my tradition, in movement medicine, we dance very much with the archetype of the dancing warrior, which is, as I said, an archetype, and it's really the connection. Well, it's the tree of life, basically, in movement. So it's the
Okay.
connection to the energy that comes from the roots, connected to the energy that comes from higher up in the sky. So really being aware that we have this vertical axis that allows us really to be connected to this dual energy, up and down. So I think, in a different language, but we're all humans, we are basically
Yes.
all saying the same
Yes.
in different ways, but here we are,
Absolutely.
connected to nature.
Absolutely. So now I would like to ask Preeti here about the same type, like how children connects to these things and your recent experience, which you were sharing almost a year ago during lockdown, and your personal journey as a adult being with a child and exploring nature with a very young girl. You
Hmm.
remember that, Preeti? I hope
I
I know you very much remember.
So you could start and then I'll add on to it because I'm just not fully like to that. Just go ahead and then I'll add.
You started playing with that girl, going to the nature every day, slowly, and then she
Yeah,
started opening it up, and then
yeah,
you created more. I think you created treasure hunt also
yeah.
in the nature around the
Right.
park.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you
Right.
recall it?
So I'll take it from there. So it was, I think, very interesting to see how children respond to nature. And I used to see this girl every day playing in the mud, and I wondered what gives her so much excitement. I would just see it from my window. I would just wave her off, and she would not respond to me. Only I think after a week later, she started to see me as a person, and she's like, "Okay, fine, I see you," and she started to smile back to me. And then there were times when she's like, okay, let's play something, but because we cannot move out, there were like some space for us to play in the backyard in the garden. So she started to enjoy. She started to enjoy it so much that every time she'll see a new bird, she'll tell me, "Oh, Preeti, I saw that bird today. Do you know its name?" And all of that. Anything new that she'll find in the day about the nature or the leaves or anything, and she'll bring the leaf to me and talk about it. So I think that helped me also to see the nature from a very different angle. Like the mud, I would see, okay, it's just mud, but she would have her own imaginative stories with the mud, like anything. And I think that helped me to see different elements from a complete new perspective, like as if I don't know the element. So just let's explore it like the child is exploring it with so much inquisitiveness and curiosity. Yeah.
Wow, this has brought amazing insight. Preeti has brought amazing insight that nature constantly keeps on giving you new. There is no sunset which is same. There is no sunrise which is same. Even the moon which comes every day, the sun which comes every day, it doesn't look same. There is always new. But in our urban life or city life and the life which we are leading right now, many of us, we keep on seeking that new, but there is a kind of a limit. And obviously, then your mind is going to bog down and all. And I remember one of the professor from one university, he had put a Facebook post with one of the Bollywood songs, the Bollywood song goes like this: प्यार हुआ नहीं क्यों नए लग रहे हैं ये धरती गगन मैंने पूछा तो बोली ये पगली पवन प्यार हुआ चुपके से said the the so the girl asked that why it looks like all the skies and the earth and everything around me seems new, everything is new. So I asked butterfly, I asked the skies, I asked various people around the nature, I asked basically, and the nature says that you are in love, you are blossoming in the love. So this is exactly about, so moment you are in the nature, you start loving it, you really are love, then you cannot be anything else other than the love. And that's the beauty. So now I would like to tell the second part of the story of my connection, and then I would ask, we'll take a one round or we'll take a pop-up also. So I was also going into the garden one day, and my eyes fell upon this particular bitter gourd. So there was a bunch of a bitter gourd, and then there was also small flowers, and those flowers are very tiny, beautiful yellow color flowers. And I went near to it. It was like calling to me, and then suddenly this question came that why you are bitter. So, so I asked the bitter gourd why you are bitter. Okay, and bitter gourd replied to me. Okay, but I am going to put a little bit twist because bitter gourd doesn't reply in human language, and we human have divided ourselves so much in name of religion and science. So those who believe in science, you continue and use the word doctor, and those who believe in religion, you use the word God, Allah, whatever suits to you. But Beta God replied to me. So story was like this. He said I was actually a very sweet fruit. But one day a greed caught me and I wanted to become a sweetest fruit on the earth. The sweetest fruit that nobody can beat my sweetness. So I went to a doctor or a scientist and I asked him, make me the sweetest fruit on the earth. Put me some injection, like every day nowadays people are putting vaccines. Or if you are a religioustic person, ask the God to make the sweetest. And the wish was granted and he became more sweeter. But he was not satisfied with that. He went second time also. And the scientist kind of alerted him, said that, oh, this can be dangerous. Do you know what you are doing? He said, yes, I'm still not that best. I can be more sweeter than this. You have no idea about it. And then, because he was very forceful and insistent behind this injection, that at the end, scientist applied that injection and he became more sweeter. And at the end, he took a final risk of his life and went for the third injection too, and became so sweet that it turned into the bitterness. It became so sweet that it turns into bitterness. So if you study a little bit more science, you would find something which is, many people like dark chocolate. What is it? It becomes too sweet, such a sweet that it becomes a dark in nature, right? And that was a reply, uh, kind of which I in a communication with this bitter god, and I was very kind of perplexed about it. And when today I found this, like this was nothing planned. Just afternoon after my lunch, I was thinking what I can ask Shailendra Bhaiya, and my eyes fell on this bitter god which was lying alone. Uh, so when I looked at here, it has this green shade, and then there is a yellow shade. So, and a second part of a story came out, and I'm tempted not to tell it right now. You can guess it, I guess. And any one of you can guess the second part of the story, like what it can be. The green color and the yellow color might give you the clue that what another greed human being has apart from being sweeter. So my now question is not a question. Let's keep a free flowing. Any other sharing, any life essential like connecting with the five elements, the Panch Mahabhutas, evolving of a life through it, whatever comes to your heart and mind, which you like to share with the audience, and also able to share about how in this difficult time we can continue sustaining our practices, and not only that, embrace it more rigorously, put it more from the love, and learn the lessons which is there. Not just do it. Doing is enough, but doing it with the love will really transform, and we it would help us to overcome this difficult situation. And until we don't learn with love, I don't think nature would leave us. It would keep on bringing this new and new coronas and god knows what else, but we need to learn. So now it is free forum for anyone to like to share. And
Well, what I can share is that where I live in a small city,
yeah.
and I'm lucky enough because outside of my window where I work, there is a very big cedar tree, and there are many birds that are coming to visit. So since lockdown, I've noticed who is living in that tree. I'd never noticed before, and I realized that I have a woodpecker, which is very unusual, and I managed to see it, I think, 4 or 5 times. And it's very interesting because each time I see it, it's always when I'm having specific conversation with some people that has got to do with heart opening. So it's like somehow it's like a connection to really, like be present in your heart. So it's like a reminder to be present. So to me, it was a very, very, very huge, well, healing for sure, but information as well. So really connecting to nature, you can really find a lot of, well, mirrors, information, wisdom, anything. So I can always say I'm grateful to nature, especially in this time of my life. Great teacher.
Yeah, great teacher. Yes. Any of you able to guess about this story, please you can put it in the comment box. And any of you also, this is a hint for Preeti also, because she has not spoken about her workshop which she is going to take, and the hint lies here. And this is a miracle from, like, this is not scripted or nothing planned out. It's somewhere it's flowing. I don't. It's a magic from the nature right now.
One point on bitter god, I went to
Yes.
Himachal, Dehradun, Manali side. I found a sweet bitter god. Even the raw ones
Wow.
are sweeter.
Okay. Raw ones
So
are
we
also sweeter.
squeeze
Need to
around
go and get.
also.
Need to go and taste that.
Yes. So I don't know what you are still, what is the clue in that bitter God still, but let me take this opportunity to share a little bit about the workshop that I am hosting as part of the Me, Myself Earth. So I think my journey around this exploration started some 2 years back when I started to realize that a lot of things that we are putting on our body is not something that we need, whether that we call it soap or toothpaste or all of these foaming face washes and shampoos and a whole lot of things. Then I started to question, like, why do I need that? Like, who told me that I need to brush, and what is the science behind even brushing? Do I need to brush? uh, and then I started to read about when did brushing emerge as a concept for our society, because I remember my grandparents doing some neem twigs and all of these dried twigs, and they used to call that it is a datun. You just have to chew it in the morning, and that's it. You are done for the day. So I started to like become curious about how all of these things, all of these big marketing industries have conditioned us so much that we need it. We cannot sustain without it, whether that's our soap, whether that's a toothpaste, and all of these market made products. And there the journey started. And I think once I also did an experiment to wash my clothes without any washing powder or anything, just with water, and see what happens. And even with my clothes, and even I tried experimenting with my hair, just cleaning it with water and not shampoo or anything. Some of them were successful experiments, some of them did take a lot of time for my body to get accustomed, but I realized that my body can adapt. It is so adaptable that if I switch from maybe shampoo to herbal hair powder, it would take time, but it will eventually adapt. And that was a time when a lot of switch started to happen. And I decided, okay, I don't want to use soap, because I also understood that the foaming is not cleaning my body. It's actually the scrubbing process that is taking away the dead cells. So a lot of these insights came from people who were practicing sustainability around me, and I interned with different people. And from there, I think I became curious to make this switch and also help other people make the switch. So a lot of people ask me, will you make these products and I sell? I was like, no, I will never do that, because that will never lead them to actually learn more about their body. The way I experimented and understood my body, I think that's the only way. Even if we have alternatives like herbal alternatives for thing, and people are still consuming it with the market mentality of just buying and having without even knowing whether it's suiting their body. Some of the things are even allergic to you, even that they are herbal, but still you are allergic to them. So there's this consciousness that is missing in the buying ideology. So I started hosting these workshops where I would not give recipes to people. So even in the workshop that I'm hosting as part of the Me, Myself, Earth, there's no recipe, but we will work on understanding our dental care and our body care, and we'll be curating our own customized version of tooth powder for yourself and your body, and bath powder for your body, which are like alternatives to the toothpaste and the soaps or shower gels that we use daily. So I would invite somebody, like everyone who's here and would like to just know themselves a little better, and also want to switch to these herbal alternatives, connect to Mother Earth in this way. Actually, I think when you connect to your body, you also connect to the vastness of the earth, and you connect to a lot of different things that you might not realize at that very moment, but eventually in your journey you get a sense, oh, I did something that time, and it has led me to be here in this way.
Yeah.
So let this be an initiation, whatever workshop you are interested in, whatever is your medium of connecting, or whatever is calling your attention and your curiosity. So just join that workshop and see how that opens up for you in your connection with the Mother Earth and its elements. So yeah, that's uh, a small invitation from me and Vaibhav about the workshops that a lot of different facilitators are hosting, and we'll keep bringing them on our lives to discuss more about that. Silviana also shared about the movement workshop that she's offering. So, yeah, over to Vaibhav if you want to add something. And
No, I'm waiting. Shailendra Bhaiya had sparkling eyes at 2 3 points. I'm waiting. What was those moments?
Yeah,
And
I've been not using any soap or shampoo, or not applying my hair oil to the hair, or no soap for the clothes, or no soap for the body, or nothing since 5 years. No dhatu, nor even tooth powder or ubatan powder. I even stopped those now. So it has been very amazing journey. We don't need anything. The moment I get up, my mouth is very fresh. Even though I was eating cooked food last year, even then it was fresh. So we have to just eat right food, follow right cooking methods. Then yeah, maybe if one is eating cooked food, we have to squish our mouth properly. Why do we get bad odor? If there is any food particles remaining in the mouth, then definitely pathogenic bacteria will come and help us to clean those particles. Like cockroaches will come into the drain if there is any food debris. So don't allow to keep any food particles in the mouth. Just squish the with water. That is enough. Sometimes, even though we take care of our oral hygiene, brush our teeth 3 times or 4 times in a day, still we have bad odor. It's because the food particles is not digested inside the stomach. So the odor is coming from within because the pathogenic bacteria have tried upon cleaning those remains of food particle. So it will smell bad from the mouth. So one need to understand that whatever we put on into the body, like it may be through the skin or through the eyes, even now whatever we are exposed to, the LED lights, the phone, the LED screen, the light, these all things are also bad for us. But yeah, somewhere it's inevitable for us. But we are very conscious in charging our mobile phone. If the battery is coming down, then is it just enough to eat food we get charged? We have to charge by connecting to the nature, by charging ourselves, like grounding, like workouts. Earlier there was no requirement to do any yoga, or no requirement extra like asanas, they were not required. But nowadays, because of sedentary lifestyle, we need some workout. And paying price and going for a gym or a yoga session, rather wash your clothes, do some gardening, mob your house, do all the cleaning. If your house is clean, put all the debris inside and again clean and mob. So if you don't have washing clothes for washing, just again bring your neat clothes into the water and again wash them, or wash your household people like your father or mother or children, wash others clothes also. That is an activity, that is an exercise. So there is no point of paying money, it's not sustainable, like again pay money and go to the classes. Okay, some way it's better, it's fine, but it's not productive. Rather do your batter, make your batter on the stone grinder, make the flour in the stone grinder manually. So do some gardening. These all our activities are enough. We need not specifically do any asanas. Even meditation is separately doing is not required. Whenever you are working with the nature, automatically you go into a meditative state. It's only because we are not connected to the nature, so only we have to do extra asana, extra meditation separately to be ourselves in that pace of state of mind throughout the day. So in my workshops, normally I teach people about these all things. The purpose of birth. Basically, the purpose of birth is to be in like experience the, like if you see why there is what why did God intend to create this nature? So a normal person who has some capabilities of arts or crafts or music, he can't just be idle. Then if at all divine is there, why will he be idle? Will he not express his capabilities? So this creation is the expression of the divine capabilities. So he has expressed, and that's how the creation has flourished. And there is a diversity. Every, like suppose if every person, like individual has will know everything, he will get ego. So for that reason, there is some drawbacks in everyone. So so as to we have to be in harmony. Or else if one has, okay, if one is overcoming that ego, then he will be seeing equanimously, uh, he'll be seeing the whole creation equally. But till we have crossed our ego, then we'll have some or the other drawbacks, or else we'll get ego. So we have some drawbacks because we have to be in harmony. a person like a sanitation worker is also great, because we can't do his work. Like he's very much comfortable doing his work. At the same time, he cannot do others' work. So we have to respect a kumbhar, a cobbler, a potter, everyone, an artist, because we need in the community, we have to live together. We have to share each other's creativity or capabilities. We have to share each other. That's how we can be in harmony. So even in the nature, trees also are in that harmony. Or not all trees get all the nutrients. They are in harmony. So so we are also belong to that harmony, but because of our ego, we have disconnected from that nature. We started cutting down the trees. Then we have removed the diversity. Now we have started farming, mono farming, chemical farming, and now we started removing the sun also. We are growing hydroponics indoors with artificial lighting. So we have removed the sunlight, birds, bees, animals. Like we think that we are very much great, we can do everything. Yes, we will produce something, but nothing is there. There is no potency in that food. So what's the point of eating such food? So we have been advanced in many, like now a small virus is not able to, like we are not able to get a solution for handling this virus. But rather, this virus is a mechanism inside the body to detox. It's not a very scary thing. So the body, it's inevitable that we are putting toxins inside the body. Now the toxins from various levels. It may be from panchabhutas, from the food we eat, air, water, pollution, everywhere. So even if you are in the forest, even if you are eating right food, you are taking oxygen. The body has to take the prana from it, and it has to leave the carbon dioxide. If it is not leaving that, then it will lead to oxidative stress. That is a toxin again. So it is, toxins are inevitable even if you are in the forest. So the body will generate some metabolic waste after utilizing the energy. It has to be pushed out. So we have a very sophisticated, very well equipped organs to detox all these toxins. But in the modern times, we overload our body so much that we don't give time for these toxins to flush out, because the organs has other vital functions also. We can't just keep on working on detoxification. So we don't give time. Now these toxins are kept aside. So once in a while it will see an alternative route. So it may come through cold or cough or diarrhea. We try to take some medication. We try to suppress those complications. Then we are addressing the symptoms, but the toxins will remain. Then it will try to find an alternative route like skin allergy, psoriasis, asthma, or some other problem. There also we try to give some or the other medication and we try to stop it. Then sometimes fevers will come, infections will come. So there the pathogenic bacteria is trying to help to detox these toxins, eat away these toxins. To control the pathogenic bacteria, there are white blood cells, because white blood cells are like Devi Devatas. The pathogenic bacteria are like Rakshasas and Davanavas. So even to obtain the nectar from the Kshira Samudra, Devatas had to take help of the Rakshasas, or else they couldn't have done that work. So every element, every microorganism, it may be good or bad. A thorny bush, if it is growing in the fence, it is protecting your farm or a house. But the same thorny bush, if it is in between your farm, in between your garden, it will prickle you. So every element has a place, has a role. Nothing is bad. A knife, you can cut a vegetable or kill a person or save a person. How you're utilizing it. So in permaculture, we talk it as relative placement. So it's very important to utilize that element in a right way. So now this virus is also a situation where you have suppressed at many stages. Now the body will not listen. At each and every season change, the body will trigger such viruses. This is the season of virus now. So it will trigger such program within. Virus will not come from outside. It will come from within ourselves. So this program gets triggered and it will flush out all these toxins out. So the radiation also causes toxin. The phone, the Wi-Fi, now the 5G will be coming. So there'll be some virus called super jet virus. Very shortly, we'll be hearing about this super jet virus. My guru has told me about this upcoming virus now. So these viruses are inevitable. So if one doesn't want to get exposed to such situations called virus, one has to follow the right eating methods, cooking methods, do Ekadashi fasting, do Navaratri fasting for every season change, do fruit fasting. You need not completely go dry fast. You can be on fruits at least once on twice in a month or once in a week, like that. Just give rest. Sundays are there actually for working for our own self. We don't utilize that opportunity. We try to work on Sundays also. We don't, or we try to expose to TV or gadgets, or but we don't try to work out within. So which is very important. So
We
no one
constantly
has
want
to
that
worry
new.
about any virus.
We
Pardon?
constantly want that newness, something new to keep on emerging, which only nature can provide us. I
Yes.
cannot sit idle, as you mentioned it, that human being, for that expression, that experiencing this divine capabilities, cannot sit idle. So it's going to keep on creating new, it keep on seeking new things, and without the nature, there is no other thing which can provide you that. You be there, and you are always refreshing and new. So just to sum up what Preeti said and what you are saying, and then I have a question for Silvana. So two or three important clue I got. One is we are not scientific in our approach. We are not adapting. So one of the science concept, if we have studied a little bit of a science in our school days, evolution theory of Darwin, it says adaptability is a key. The animal which adapts to the environment survives longer. We misinterpreted in a different terms. That's another story, right? So that was the one big clue for all of us to like understand about that adaptability concept. And then you talked about this expression, the divine capabilities, and then there is this fear, the cyclic nature of the dynamic energy, and how good and bad, whatever we term it, they are all together working it out. It's just about relative placement. Right? So if we have to build up a community now where we are not basing upon this fear, not putting a label, this is good and that is bad, but we know that this is relatively good and this is relatively bad, and everything has relatively good and relatively bad, and adapt to a new changes which are going to come in a more sustainable way. So what, as a community, what do you would suggest, or what kind of a thing, Silviana, you would like to bring out in our
Well, for me, community is the solution for the complexity of our times, and this is the time of community. Community means really to be aware of the different role of each member, really, seeing, acknowledging, and appreciating the role of each member. And I'm talking about, especially about intergenerational relationships, because I really think that what we have missed is the connection to a real community. So I think this transition time is offering us the opportunity to really go back to this mutual support and mutual acknowledgement, and going back to the simplicity of just simply being together, in the awareness that each member of the community has got something very, very powerful to offer to the others. So my vision is really for community to thrive in such a way that they can support each other and give spaces to children to be children, to adolescents to be adolescents, to adults to be adults, to elder people to be elders, and really, allowing the wisdom of each role and each age to be there, to be seen, to be appreciated, to be put in service of the collective. Because I really think that we have lost it completely. I mean, I'm talking as an Italian, as a European woman. If I look around where I live, let's say as an Italian, women my age, I'm 54, women my age, the role model we have is to be younger and younger and younger, and to appear younger than you are all the time. And in this way, we've put into circulation a model that is absolutely unsustainable, and people do not realize of the wisdom of the age, and just, they're aspiring aspiring to a model that does not exist. So we're creating this false expectation of this forever younger and younger and younger, which is leading nowhere. So my wish is really for people to realize that wherever you are in your cycle of life is absolutely perfect. In your imperfectly perfection, you're there for a reason, and you're there to hold the space of your age, which has got exactly what is needed in a collective of people. So we are systemic, we are interdependent, and we have so much to give to each other. And hopefully this situation of this virus is going to take off what we really do not need anymore, and to allow us to go back to what is really, really the foundation of human collective. So this is my wish for me as an
Wonderful.
Italian, in Italy, in Europe, in India, all over the world. I really hope that this
So we need
virus,
to,
which to me
yeah.
it is a collective initiation, I really hope we can get it. This is the lesson for me.
So we need to empty ourselves for making a room for a new to come in our life. If we don't empty, how a new is going to enter in our life? And so this leads me to my last question, because Preeti and Shailendra, both of you also work with the community. How do you see community emerging, and what is a learning for the community? Any of you can start or answer the question first. I'm putting both of you in a difficult mode now.
Community?
What is the learning for the community? Like, I know both of you also work with the communities, and you aspire, there are different ways you have also processes for developing that. So any insights, any things you would like to share, like forming local communities around, maybe, right? Maybe in a village, maybe in a city, maybe in a town, wherever we are, how we can go about it, and then make it sustainable practices, because it's not possible to create sustainability in the commercial model. That's not the ideal. That's, we have seen, we talked about it. So what the
So
community looks the
what
solution.
my idea towards community building is sharing a common platform, because every person cannot do everything. Every person has some expertise skill. So when he's interested, maybe every person needs everything, but at the same time he cannot do everything. Maybe he will do 10 things,
Yes.
but not 100 things, or 90 things, or not 100 things. So we have to depend. So once we create a platform, and we will allow people to reciprocate or do their capable stuff and share among each other, that is a very nice platform to build up the community. And it should be local, sustainable in that local community. Maybe someone is making some natural soaps or shampoos or bioenzymes. Someone will be doing some nut butters, processed in a very efficient way. Someone will be doing some dried fruits, or someone will be doing farming. So everyone will be doing, and just like you have to just live together, and everyone will be sharing their works, sharing their produce. That's how we can build up a community very easily.
Wonderful, wonderful. Preeti, any?
So I think for me, the word community has different connotations, because I stayed with a community of self-designed learners for 2 years. So that's a community that I chose to live with. But in the lockdown, I realized that there's a community that we are born with, which is our family and extended family. So how do we also make it as much as we would want to like seek out to the like-minded community? Because sometimes when we evolve it to a point where our parents or our family members do not resonate with our ideas, but that's also a community. And in lockdown, I strongly realized that this community is the place of grounding for a human being. Friends and everything is a secondary community. Definitely, they are there for support, but I have to eventually return back to my home to have some grounding, or financially, emotionally, physically, whatever. So I think that, for me, currently, for any community or anything of that work to happen, I think acceptance is the key that I'm seeing, at least in my whatever is happening right now around me. Like, can I accept people the way they are, even when that's not a chosen community or a chosen community? Because even in a chosen community, I might not share perspectives, or it's not fully in alignment the way I think. So for me, I think I'm very much alive with the acceptance part of the community, because once you start to accept, I think their best gifts are flown, and you are also able to flow with your gifts towards them. So I think, yeah, that's like a key for me right now to opening doors to the birth given communities or by birth communities. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. So very different perspectives and all syncing up together around one common idea of healthy, sustainable living and making life more happier about. Before we close, we have two, three announcements and one special request for Salendra Bhaiya too. Uh, so I like Preeti first to announce about what is the surprise and the challenge for today. And yeah,
Wonderful. So I am actually very excited about the whole program. I and Rebo have been working like almost 24 hours of the day and trying to bring something us for all of us. So one part of the event is the workshop, 7 different workshops that starts from 21st of April and closes with Sylviana's workshop on 27th. So these are the workshops, and the second part of it is, these workshops are basically initiation into the love for Mother Nature. So every facilitator is offering a different medium of expression. Like Sylviana is using music, and when somebody else is using storytelling, somebody is using something else, meditation and craft and art. So they are coming together to offer this. And second part of the event is a 21-day challenge where we are doing acts of love towards the nature. So whether that's making a compost, bioenzyme, switching to different herbal products. So we thought, let's start it from today. So all those people who have joined us on live, and we'll be seeing the live later. So we have a challenge for you, that if and we want you to do it for at least 5 days. So the challenge is that you learn to make bioenzymes. There are a lot of resources on internet around making it, and Shailendra has been like advocating about making bioenzymes for a long time. So if you go on his page, you'll find resources to make it. So you make it, and in the next 5 days, you gift it to 3 people and teach it to 2 people about how to use it and how to make it, and document the process in your own way, whether that's photograph or video, and share it to us on our email ID, which I'll share right now. And if you're doing that for the next 5 days, so by Sunday 9 p.m., if you share all of these resources, like whatever is your way of documenting that you have done these three things, then you can be part of any of our workshops. You will not have to pay any contribution. You can just go with pay as you wish model, and you can join any of our workshops that will happen as part of the event. So I'll just quickly repeat what is the challenge. So there are three parts to the challenge that we have to do in the next 5 days. First is that you make bioenzyme for yourself, like your family, gift it to 3 people in your neighborhood, friends, whatever, and teach it to 2 people how to make it on your own. And all the resources to learn are there on YouTube. Go search, you will know, or ask Shaladriya or visit his page, you'll get to know. And the email ID where you have to share your photos and videos, whatever is your documentation of doing all of these three things. You have to write it, share that on myselfearth.me@gmail.com by Saturday 9 p.m. And then we'll get back to you, and you could join any of our workshops. Yeah, so that's the challenge.
so thank you, Preeti. So just to continuing that thread of bioenzymes and the work about and talking about the community. So one of the aspiration which we are also holding very dear to our heart is creating such a local communities through this platform. So we all come together, we start connecting with the nature through the series of workshop, then 21 days challenge. And once we are putting love into the actions, then we would like to really call many experts who are going to come. Like today, Shailendra Bhaiya is here. We can ask him. He is ready to always help and support us. And there are many more other guest speakers who are going to come in coming few days. So the real experts, real skill and the technical parts of sustainable living would come little later once we are really ready to embrace it with the love. So let us connect, open our heart, open our hand first, and then open our mind for a new knowledge. So by opening our heart and opening our hand, let us be a little bit more empty, let go of all the past thoughts and patterns and the worries and the fears of this viruses and all that. Start embracing love, start accepting the abundance. Uh, so this was basic intentions and aspirations which we are holding. My final question first to Shailendra Bhaiya, and then any of you, if you want to respond to this. Uh, so I have a two question actually now for Shailendra Bhaiya. Now one has become two. Looking at him, I'm getting many things. So one is, if you can briefly talk about your attire, the the costume which you have, and also a little bit about BioEnzyme and any pro tips you would like to give those who are going to start very new. There are many I know who are already practicing it, but they might have stopped it for a varieties of reason. So if you can quickly share something about that and a little bit about your attire too.
So coming to my attire, this is my natural helmet. No police will catch me if I am not wearing helmet because this is my natural helmet. So this will help me to protect from sun, from wind. I have to just cover up my ears if I have to protect from myself from wind. So sometimes this will just help me to spread on the floor and sleep, and the same thing will help me to just wipe my face if I wash my face. So and moreover it will protect my energies, my Sahasrara chakra, and also it will protect my hair from dust. So that's the reason I don't even apply any shampoo, and I don't apply oil because I give the nutrients from within, like not from outside. I give nutrients from within, so my hair is very strong. So this is my about my turban and my beard and mustache. This is my natural defensive mechanism. So this will help me to ward off all the infections, virus, or whatever you say. So this will actually have a beneficial microbial colony, so that will actually protect you, and also it will have an insulation, like there will be a trigeminal nerve here, especially for men, like how women have mood swings, even men also has challenges. So this part should be always cool. So this beard will help to regulate the temperatures. So that's how this will help. And this also work like antenna. From the time I have been growing my beard and mustache, I am very much sensitive to the nature. So if anything happening beforehand, I am very much sensitive and I can connect to that nature element. So this is about the attire. And the clothes which I wear is unstitched fabrics, because when you cut a fabric, then the pattern will break down. So there will be a pattern when a weaver makes a, and my clothes are completely khadi, hand woven, handloom. So I am very much concerned with the nature. I don't even use a BT cotton, which is having again chemicals. So so whatever I put, I think consciously, is it harming the nature? It's harming me, Mother Earth, and myself. So myself and Earth. So then I don't wear stitched fabrics, because when you cut a fabric, it will like change the pattern, and also it's sustainable. I can reduce some carbon footprints. So there is again next effort in stitching a fabric. So I don't even use a bleached fabric, because again bleaching will have a lot of chemicals. So I wear unbleached kora, khadi, hand spun, hand woven. So this is my attire. Then coming to bioenzymes, It's very easy. Yeah, there are many documents, but few important things I would like to share with bioenzymes is many people are worried about citric enzymes. Like Dr. Rusukon, who is the founder of bioenzymes, she termed it as garbage enzyme initially. So it's nothing new concept, but her contribution is like to make your like these are like vinegars. Basically, the end product is like vinegar, but not your industrial vinegar or your fruit vinegar, which you are getting in the market. So this bioenzyme is chemical formulation is vinegar, but along with acetic acid, it also has lactic acid bacteria, other beneficial bacteria, and many other enzymes like lipase, protease, amylase, which will help in cleaning process. And this itself will become a natural sanitizer. We need not use any other sanitizers when we are using these enzymes. So it is also a disinfectant. It is being proven. So one need not worry about any other chemical disinfectant when one is using this bioenzyme. But only thing what I suggest people is don't just stick to citric peels. So people are connected with lemon peels or pineapple or citric peels because of aroma. Yeah, definitely aroma will be there, functionality will be there. But when you add diversified peels, then you will have diversified microbial colony. That is very important because we are not equipped with trees and plants and animals around. We got disconnected with those Devi Devatas, which are those beneficial microbes. So now we are bringing those lively microbes or those Devi Devatas inside your house by making bioenzyme. So by using bioenzymes in your house. So when you make bioenzymes with diversified greens, vegetable peels or fruit peels, basically Dr. Ruzukon suggested peels. It's not like we have to do only with peels. We can use whole fruit and whole vegetable also. But here we are eating fruit. The peels, instead of just throwing it out into the garbage bin or just making a compost, we are making a value addition product, and again the residual part can be added to the compost again. So we are getting two benefits, not just making a compost, we are getting some extract of it and then adding to that compost. So go with diversified peels. So for aroma, what you can do is go first make your culture with diversified peels. Then later when you add that culture to shorten your process for 1 month, you have to add the previous batch one. Then you add your diversified culture with your citric peels. Then you'll have your microbial diversity and the aroma. Or the other better way is go with 50% diversity, 50% with your citric peels, where you have aroma and also the diversified microbes. And to fasten the process, never add yeast. Yeast is a segregated microbial activity which we get in the market, industrial yeast and all. It will happen, the process will happen, but the microbial diversity will not be there. The functionality, you can see when you make a product with yeast, it will not be very potent. It will not give that energy. So we should never use yeast in making bioenzymes. Rather, there are many people who are using making bioenzymes, or I suggest you make your own bioenzyme in your house, because there are some local microbes which get connected to that product, and through that product it will connect to you and help you. So every individual house has a specific microbial colony, Devi Devatas or gods, whatever you say. So they get connected normally through like air you breathe, the smell you take, or the things you put on the skin, or the food you eat. So they need some connection. They are there around. They need some connection. So by using these, when you make at your home, like even when you make curds at your house, vegan curds I prefer. So these microbes which are there, which want to help you, will connect through food and be part of you and become me. So that's how it will help. So we have to remember these points. Diversified peels, if you want, yes, 50% your aromatic peels, but make 3 months process with diversified peels, then use that culture in making your citric enzyme with some diversified peels together. That would be very nice. And yeah, remaining technicalities, it's very simple. People go with narrow mouth containers. It will be very difficult to add and remove. Don't go with narrow mouth containers. Go with wide mouthed so that you will insert your hand easily. It is because like from my experience, because initially people will go with narrow mouth and they will not get encouraged to do later. It will be very tedious work. So just take a wide mouthed where you can fit your hand so that you can remove and add easily. And one more important thing, we have to release the gases. People are going for shortcuts. They are keeping some non-return walls. They are keeping some pipe and adding into the water. Yeah, these all methods will help to remove the carbon dioxide out, but it is also important in the initial month to supply oxygen. If you are not releasing the container mouth, the oxygen will not be supplied. Carbon dioxide can be released by doing such arrangements, but oxygen supply is also very important because there are some microbial colony which are aerobic bacteria which will thrive for oxygen. So if you don't supply oxygen, it will get oxygen, but it has to struggle a lot. It has to break down the sugars from the jaggery and then convert that into oxygen from that jaggery. So it's a tedious process. So the potency will not be that great. So it's very simple. Just you have to just open up the cap once in a day for 10 days. Then after that, twice in a week, thrice in a week, and then later twice in a week. It's very simple. But follow these procedures. Don't go for shortcuts. So that is my request.
Thank you so much, Shailendra Bhaiya. Even though this was also kind of unplanned as it's moving and we are culminating towards the end. It had been a very long, like, I have asked everyone, like, you would get only 10-15 minutes to speak and then we'd have, and then the whole format got changed. There must be some reason behind it. I don't know. And thank you so much, all of you, for staying throughout the sessions and joining, first of all, and making this me really a capital ME, which is not a mean, but this becomes a means for our evolutionary journey. And we all, as a human, progress to much higher notes. We'll have a similar session tomorrow on our Facebook itself, where we would continue our journey with this Peter God, the second part which has been left. Anyone gets it, please put it on the comment here, and or maybe write down to us that what can be that second part, because the second part clue is also there in tomorrow's session. So we have a more from the movement perspective. We have a classical Indian dance teacher. We have a movement expert who use movements for the healing, then the finding out oneself through movements. And then we have a one unique person who is struggling with the life, who is kind of medically, we would say, not fit, but how we can see that inclusivity, and at a very young age, she is fighting something which is unavoidable, and still she keeps her spirit very high. So this is something about tomorrow's session. Today, Silvana, Preeti, and Shailendraji has given so much of insight that I feel like I need to reconnect with them after the call and share more of my gratitude and kind of noted down some of the beautiful insights which has drawn. So once again, thank you so much from the me, and creating this abundance to flow. So from last 4 5 days, I guess this earth abundance is something which I am connected with. So my name Vaibhav means in English abundance, and this is kind of a first time, like, I'm again when I connected with all three of you, and the way the whole conversation flowed and everything was getting connected, and so the abundance requires that flow. It is just kind of powering out and out and out, and I wish that abundance in everyone's life soon to touch. Thank you so much. Any parting word, any one sentence if you like to tell to the viewers, what would be that one word from our today's session? One word or a one sentence? Anyone?
Well, I'm touched. I'm very grateful for the invitation, and I'm really looking forward to connect to more people. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Shailendra ji.
Nice memory of bitter god.
Nice memory.
2 years back, two or 3 years back.
2 years back, yeah, 2 years back. around the same time, I guess, maybe. Preeti.
I never expected.
I have also like nature had
So
planned it.
bitter God was calling you.
Yes, bitter God was calling me.
So for me, I am just so grateful. I wanted to show like what Shailendra Bhaiya was telling. So this is my batch of bioenzyme that is in making. So as he told, like big mouth, I thought maybe let me just show it to the people who are here. And it really helps. I think just having a bigger mouth for this process and not the smaller bottles. So just yeah, I'm just
Wow,
happy.
look at that. Look at that. This collection of varieties of
Oh,
enzymes and all that.
These all are my research works happening, ongoing.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
wonderful.
Lots of love and power to you, Bhaiya. And we hope anyone interested to learn more, do connect with Shailendra Bhaiya and do attend Shelvana's and Preeti's workshop. Those who are interested and want to connect in a different ways, because we have a different touch points, different ways to connect. And we hope maybe those who are really interested to learn and deepen their understanding, experiment with the bioenzymes or any natural living processes. We would definitely request Shailendra Bhaiya to host some online, but I'm not interested much of online workshops. Maybe host a real live workshops in our communities or at your place. That's a wish. So thank you so much, and we'll see you soon tomorrow. We will share the details on our link. So from Earth Abundance, right now, a small takeoff. Namaste.
Namaste.
So you can just stay.
Thank you so much, both